Hi everyone, welcome to our IELTS preparation course. Today is the final day of the course, so I really hope you're still full of energy and enthusiasm since it's going to be our last step in the preparation. Before we start our 10th lesson, think about what you have learned during the previous 3 lessons. How about the rest of them? Which practical, useful tips have you remembered? And how can you actually use them in the exam? Done it? Okay, let's take on one more challenge.
Have in mind the following useful tips. Read the questions carefully. Read the questions through and underline important words that tell you what to listen for. Pay attention to the options. In addition to noting important words in the question, like timetabling, issue, you need to pick out the important words in the options, like not enough time, system, not handle, options, courses, etc. Differentiate positive and negative. Are any of the options positive or negative? Do the speakers' voices sound positive or negative? This may help you answer the question. Study the flow chart. Check the number of words you can use and read through the flow chart to understand the process. What type of information is missing in each gap? Are the answers likely to be plural or singular? Try your best to get the accurate information. You can predict answers before you listen, but be careful. Check your answers. Read back through the flowchart and check your answers for both meaning and spelling. Use your preparation time. There is no break in this section. Read all 10 sentences carefully in the preparation time. Don't forget about grammar. Make sure that the grammar of the completed sentences is correct. Check there are no unnecessary words. Check spellings and use of plural s. And now, study the following practical tips that can help improve your reading. Study the flow chart. Quickly read through the flow chart to understand the process. Note that in this task, you can only write one word for each answer. Use dates to find the right part of the passage. Dates are easy to find in the passage because they stand out. Use them to help you quickly find the right part of the passage for each question. All the answers must be words that are in the passage. Differentiate a false and a not given statement. The questions are in passage order, but the answers may not be evenly spread across the passage. The difference between a false and a not given statement is that a false statement says the opposite of what is stated in the passage. Pay attention to the words in the statement. Which words in the statement are important and help you find the answer? Note how many words you can use in your answers. You may have to go back to the beginning of the passage when you start a new sentence.
And in today's speaking, we are going to consider some more practical tips that can really help you show a good speaking skill.
And in today's speaking, we're going to consider some more practical tips which can help you show a better speaking skill. Here they are. List new words in a vocabulary notebook and add to them when you can. It can be helpful to include a sentence showing how the word is used. It is useful to remember words which go together. These are called collocations. For example, you go on holiday, on a trip, etc. Use a dictionary to look up words you don't know. Learn as many prepositional phrases as you can. In dictionaries, you can find them by looking up the word which comes after the preposition. For example, to find in control, look under control, etc. When you learn new vocabulary, write it down in an organized way. Do not just write down an individual word with its translation into your language. Extend your vocabulary by thinking of adjectives with opposite meanings. Remember to use a negative prefix if necessary. Think of different meaning categories and write down all the words you know for each one. Compare your lists with a partner to check spelling and learn more words. Phrasal verbs have very specific meanings. When you learn a new phrasal verb, write out a sentence showing how it is used. Use a dictionary to find out other meanings of the same phrasal verb. Some words in English are easily confused, either because they look or sound similar, or because they exist in another language with a different meaning. Take special care when learning these words. Idioms are used in both spoken and written English and frequently appear in newspaper articles. Some are more popular than others, and it is worth checking in a dictionary to find out which idioms are in current use. It is important to try to use a wide range of vocabulary when you are answering a question of an examiner and not just some very common. Before you complete a writing task, study the following practical tips. Identify the main features of the chart. Which age group donated most money to charity in each year? Which age group donated the least? How does the generosity of the age groups compare across the years? Include an overview. Begin with an introduction. Highlight and compare the main features. Make your overview clear. Use a range of relevant vocabulary and try to vary your sentence types. Link your ideas together so that your answer flows smoothly. Write an introductory statement. You need to write an introductory statement for your description. For this, it is particularly important to use your own words instead of copying words and phrases directly from the question. You can do this either by using a synonym of the words in the question or by changing the form of a word. Spend some time noticing the features of the visual information. When you are describing a chart or graph, you are actually describing the patterns in the data. Before you begin to write, spend 1 or 2 minutes noticing the different features of the visual information. Understand which figures you can compare and contrast. You also need to notice which different figures you can compare and contrast. Use the appropriate tense. Usually, changes occur over time. So, to describe these changes accurately, you must use the appropriate tense. And now, take just a couple of minutes and study the chart below. The chart below gives information on the percentage of British people giving money to charity by age range for the years 1990 and 2010. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant.